Hi, welcome yet again to this particular section of my videos. So search engine optimization is what I'm going to be covering in this particular video, and trust me on this, it promises to be expository, opening your eyes to all of the things you need to understand about search engine optimization. So there are several strategies obviously in digital marketing, and some of them are actually for the long term and some of them are for short term, and search engine optimization actually falls within the bracket of the long-term strategy in digital marketing. And what this simply means is that while some other strategies like pay-per-click advertising will help you or help any business to get results, I mean conversion, either a lead conversion or a sales conversion within the shortest possible time, search engine optimization will actually help to get the same results in the long term, right? So what exactly is search engine optimization? Search engine optimization is that strategy in digital marketing that deals with organic search. It deals with organic visibility online. So businesses will literally leverage on platforms like Google or Bing in order to get people to see or to know about their business. So let's say, for instance, a guy goes online to search for how lucrative is digital marketing in Nigeria with the intention of seeing a particular agency that can help them get started in digital marketing, right? When the person sees the results, the person clicks on the results and takes that particular action the website owner or the content owner wants him or her to take. This is what we call search engine optimization, optimizing your content, optimizing your website for search. So once again, in summary, search engine optimization is that strategy in digital marketing that details on how you can leverage the search engine to get visibility for your business, to get relevance for your business, and of course, very importantly, to get profitability for your business, right? Leveraging on people's search, what people are searching for, the search queries people are imputing on Google or on Bing, the kind of content people want to see, talking about their searchers' intent, and some other factors that join together to make up for search engine optimization. So this particular idea, this particular strategy in digital marketing is actually very wide, but I'll try as much as possible to break them down into smaller pieces by which you can get to understand them. So right away, I'll walk you through on my digital board and help you understand how search actually works. So let's hop right into this together, guys. So welcome to this section, guys. I want to walk you through on how exactly search works. And of course, it's a very simple and straightforward process that will be very easy for you to understand. So please pay rapt attention and then you will understand it. So we are going to be using a bookshop, for instance. We are going to be using a bookshop, for instance. We are going to be using a public library, also public library. As an example, also, we are going to be using book publishers, book publishers. As example, we're going to be using okay, let's stick to these three for now. Another idea that comes on board to inculcate it. So bookshop, public library, and book publishers, right? So quickly, search works in three phases. Number one phase is what we call the crawling phase. Number two phase of how search works is the indexation phase. And the third phase is what we call the serving or the service phase. So now this simply means that Google crawls, Google indexes, and Google serves content to searchers. Alright, so let's try to bring life to this. You remember vividly that whenever you are looking for something on Google, the very first thing you do is go to Google and search. Some people will even say Google it, right? So the person says I've Googled it, or they say Google it, right? It's so common these days. So the very first thing you do is you Google, you search, right? Meaning that what you're actually searching for, that particular thing you are imputing into Google's search engine, is what we call the search query or the keyword. We call it keyword, and if it is longer, so keyword like a combination of few words together, and if it is longer, we call it query. I hope this query is correct, right? So call it query if it is longer, and if it is shorter, we'll call it keyword. So all of that still boils down to the fact that you are searching for something. All right, so now let me make you understand some things now real quick. So in order to understand this crawling, let's come back to this example here: the bookshop, the public library, and the book publishers, right? So let me switch to a new board. All right, here we are. So in a public library, we have a chief librarian. Now the function of this chief librarian is simple. He gets books, right? He gets books and also moderates what happens inside of the public library, right? So this guy gets books, right? He also arranges the book in shelves, right? In shelves, and also he directs students or readers, right? So he's got a couple of functions, but let's limit his functions to this particular 3, right? So now just imagine a public library that has a librarian. Now coming online, this public library here is the search engine. What exactly do you find in a public library? You find answers to solutions. You find answers in a public library, right? What do you look for on Google? You are looking for answers also, right? So let's liken a public library to the search engine also. So public library equal to the search engine. Now for a chief librarian, for a public library to function properly, it needs a chief librarian, right? So in the case of online, the chief librarian here is Google, right? Or the Google bot, B-O-T, robot, right? So Google bot is the chief librarian in this case. It serves the same purpose that this man also serves, this particular purpose right here. He gets books, he arranges the books, he also directs students or readers on the kind of book they should get, or the kind of book that answers their questions, right? So now let me break this down a little bit more. So the chief librarian goes outside of the campus. The chief librarian goes outside of the campus to get books from a bookshop, right? So when he gets to when this chief librarian gets to the bookshop right here, what he does is he scans through the books, right, to get the best of authors. He scans the book to ensure that the book is in context, right, and several other things also. Now the same thing the Google robot does. The Google robot also goes through the web bookshop and scans content that people put up online, scans through billions of content, billions of content every now and then, right, in order to get useful pieces of information. So the chief librarian also goes to the bookshop, scans through the bookshop to get useful pieces of information also. The same thing Google robot does. Now the process of getting good quality books from the bookshop may be called scouting for a chief librarian, but the process of getting books or getting content from people online for the Google robot is called crawling, right? And also I said this is the first phase. So the search bot goes through the internet every second and crawls through content, crawls through billions of content in search of useful pieces of information, right? Now the moment the chief librarian scouts through books, gets the necessary books that he wants, he then arranges them neatly in shelves, right? The chief librarian arranges these books in shelves. Now the search engine also does the same thing. The robot does the same thing. Now in the case of a chief librarian, it may be called arrangement, right, or filing. But of course, when the robot goes through the internet and crawls through content to find useful pieces of information, when it gets the information it's looking for, it then indexes them neatly in a file. Just exact same thing that the chief librarian does by filing the books neatly in an archive in a shelf. The search engine bot also, the bot, B-O-T, please note this, bot, short form for robot, goes through the internet, crawls through content, and indexes the content also neatly in an archive in the process called the indexation process. Right? Now, at the end of the day, when the students come into the library to read books, the books had been gotten, right? The books had been arranged, and then the chief librarian serves the books to them or guides them on how to get the book that they're looking for. Oh wow, go to shelf D, go to shelf E, and you get your books from there. The search engine robot also does the same thing. It serves the content to us in the form of search results, right? It serves the content to us in the form of a search result. So the same process, if you understand the same process by which a chief librarian goes to the bookshop, the public library example, and the publishers also, you definitely will understand how the search engine also works. It works through the crawling process, getting useful pieces of information from the internet. It indexes the information and serves the content to us in the form of a search result, right? Now, for book publishers, the chief librarian actually does not interface with book publishers. I mean, directly sometimes. The chief librarian actually just goes to the bookshops. The bookshop interfaces with the publishers directly. Well, in this case, we may say the publishers are actually the content creators. I mean, yourself, myself, who create content on the internet, make the content available for search engine to crawl through, index them, and then serve them out to searchers like yourself and myself when we actually make searches on Google, right? For a publisher to get his or her book lined up or arranged in the shelf inside a public library, the content must be relevant, right? The content must be quality. The content must be authoritative, right? And several other qualities also that this publisher must possess in order to get his content served in a public library. The same thing the Google robot does also. For your content to be crawled and indexed and served to people, your content must be relevant, right? Your content must be of quality. Your content must be authoritative, right? So, as a content creator, as an SEO content creator, create content that are relevant, that are quality, and that are authoritative, right? So, this is how exactly the search engine works. It works in three phases: crawling phase, indexation phase, and then of course serving phase. I hope this makes sense to you. So thank you so much, and I'll be seeing you in my subsequent videos.